Good morning everyone, and welcome back to my channel. For today's look of the day, I'm actually a little bit early, so I think I'm gonna try something a little more complicated. Yesterday I talked a bit about mental health and what that looks like, and motivation, depression, all that stuff. I still did my video despite not wanting to, and I asked my husband if he could wake me up again so that we could go walking in the morning like we used to. The mosquitoes aren't as bad as they had been, which is what prevented us from going walking previously. I get really big welts everywhere, and so we decided to wait until mosquitoes went away. Now it seems as though they are mostly gone, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to keep up the walking. But I feel pretty good this morning, and I decided since I got up early and did all that, I would try something a little more complicated. It's been a little while. So my attempt is going to be a look. Let me see if I can get it to show up. Here is the look I'm going for, if it will focus, and it doesn't seem like it's going to. Hold on, let's try this again. Is it going to focus? Maybe you can see it, I don't know. Anyways, it's a look by a girl called Swayze Morgan. Swayze Morgan. And I will tag her below, as well as put the link to the actual look. And who knows, maybe I'll get off track like I usually do and do something totally different and on my own. But that's what I'm thinking I'm gonna start with. So first thing I'm gonna use is this hydrating treatment serum that I got from Ipsy. Just wanna give you guys an update. I actually, yesterday, was talking to my husband. Our 1-year anniversary is coming up in January. And we're talking about wanting to get matching furniture, like a bedroom set. And so we're gonna have to start saving up for that. And because of that, I actually have canceled all of my Ipsy memberships. I had the Glam Bag Plus, and the Glam Bag Ultimate. That's $85 a month. And I decided that right now my priority is to save for furniture, because we want to get like canopy bed, and I'm pretty excited about it. But I have quite a lot of products from Ipsy. Some of them I'm not even using yet. So I figure I can go through these, and you can always sign back up at any time. They actually don't make you wait if you've already been signed up before, which is interesting. Makes me think that the waiting list is just a scam. But I love Ipsy products, so I don't really care. Anywho, currently I'm using all the same products I usually do, but switching out the Pure Lease Matcha Green Tea Moisturizer for that moisturizer I just showed you, and I think it's called Lou. It's L-E-A-U. L''E-A-U. Anyways. Then it's my 111 Skin Rose Gold Radiance Booster, and then the I Do Care Gold Gel Radiance Booster. Next thing I'm gonna do is this Unicorn Glow Hydrating Primer, and I might get a full-size one of this. This is just the sample size. But the other thing to keep in mind is that, you know, if we feel like, hey, we're saving enough money and all that stuff, then I can always just get products from Ulta, which we do anyways when I start losing weight, and lately my weight has been at sort of a plateau. I'm hoping that us going walking again will sort of jumpstart it back to dropping. But we always go get some more makeup when I lose some more weight, so I will still be doing Ulta hauls or ColourPop or, you know, whatever. So don't worry, that's not going away. And I have more makeup than I know what to do with right now, so there's that. Coffees. Okay. Next is my Rimmel London Stay Matte Concealer in the shade Porcelain. Which is funny because if you think about the word porcelain, it also looks like you're saying your pores are slain. Porcelain? Yeah, never mind. I like dad jokes. Can't help myself. Like someone who does really well at their job, their specific area of work, you could call them a scarecrow because they're outstanding in their field. All right, I'll stop. Anyways, now I'm going to use my sponge, and I have to remember which one I used for, I think it was this one. This is like the dry one. This is the concealer and foundation one. And I think I'll use my foundation today too. That's the little Tarte sample that I got from Ulta. Oh, actually, you're supposed to put your foundation on first, aren't you? Oh well. We'll see what happens. And guess we'll know why people do that if it turns out badly, or maybe that's just preference. And I still have sleep in my eye. Gross. Come on, seriously? Oh geez, it's still there. What the heck? Go away. I'm awake already. Deal with it. The corners are the hardest part for me sometimes because they just don't want to be covered, I guess. All right, so Jan from Seattle said when I do my foundation, I should put some on the back of my hand. Whoop. So we'll do that, and then for old time's sake, we'll add the matcha green tea moisturizer from Pure Lace. She said she adds moisturizer to give it a sheer look. So let's do that, and then bloop, bloop, bloop. I'll mix it with this. Okay. Oh, I didn't wet my sponge, and my water is almost out. Oh, yay, we have just enough. Okay, good. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Oh, it smells so good. I love that matcha green tea moisturizer. And it's even better because I haven't smelled it in a while. I feel like I got much too much on my face. Oh my God, this is horrific. Can't deal. Nope, this is so gross. Look at that. Oh God, oh no, no thanks. Oh God, horrible, horrible. Abort, abort. Oh my gosh, why did that look so bad? Maybe that particular foundation, maybe it's because I put the concealer on my eyes first. Maybe it's because that particular foundation doesn't blend well with moisturizer. I don't know. Maybe I put too much on. I don't know. But that was bad. Oh God, that was so bad. All right, let's try this again. All right, this time I'm just gonna try the the Tarte foundation, and I'm only gonna do a little bit. My cats are being crazy. Okay, spongy. Let's try this again. Okay, that worked a lot better. Now, I don't know if it's because I'm guessing I just had too much last time, and also in conjunction with having the concealer down first. I'll give it another try like tomorrow and just try to use less. But I went the second time around this way because I know that this has worked in the past, and I gotta go to work, so I don't have too much time to experiment in the mornings. So now we're gonna put the concealer down over top of the foundation. And just take my damp sponge and dab, dab, dab to blend it. Sometimes I get some on my waterline, and I just take a wet Q-tip and clean that up. And this blends super nicely over top of the foundation. I actually find it blends better into foundation than it does when I don't wear foundation. Or I should say it blends better when I wear foundation as opposed to when I don't. Okay, now I'm gonna take my Ciate London Extraordinary Translucent Setting Powder and my dry sponge. And I just dip in here, get that fuzz off there. And just pat my eyes. I always start with my eyes, then go all the way around my face with the brush. And I have this all over my shirt. Sweet. Okie dokie. I'm gonna take a makeup wipe and clean up my hand. Okie doke. Q-tip in the corners because it gets pretty full of the setting powder, and then it makes my eyes start leaking, and I hate that. So there we go. Next, I'm gonna do my eyebrows. And I just brush them up. Take my Wet n Wild Au Naturel palette and my Farrah eyebrow brush. This is the Angled Brow 15E. I go into this shade and this shade mixed together. It's kind of like a dark brown and a burgundy to match my hair. And I just fill them in. There we go. All right, next is bronzer. So I'm gonna use this Lovecraft Beauty bronzer palette, and I'm going to use that shade Aditya, or however you say it. I don't know how to say it. I'm going to use this brush. And I go right where the shadow is. And then up here on my forehead, in the hairline and temples. Just sort of blend it into my hairline. Like I'm shading an egg and my head is the egg. My hair is being crazy today, apparently. And I have like random hair. Now I'm taking this Farrah Cheeky End 218 brush to just diffuse this a little bit and do a little more blending. Because it's pretty dark. All right, now this is a little darker than I usually like, but I think I'm gonna take this Cymbeline, which is the lighter shade, and put it kind of on the top part of it and try to give it like a transition. Not too much, because I don't want this going crazy bananas. I'm not really dark, I'm quite pale. I also want to get my neck. Okay. Put that away. Now we'll go for some blush. We've got the Betty Boop and Ipsy blush palette. That's this one. Blush brush. Just take all three of these. Oh, my hair. All right, then I'm gonna go into my Huda Beauty 3D highlighting palette in Golden Sands. I'm gonna take Seychelles and my 103 Firma brush, highlight the center of my forehead, my temples, and tops of my cheeks. Slightly my nose, my lips and chin, and Cupid's bow. And then my jawline. Okay. And then I'm going to throw things. I'm gonna take this cheeky and 218 brush and just kind of go across my face and sort of diffuse, but also sort of blend things together. Fix my hair. It's growing out. So excited. I won't know what to do with it before too long. Okay. Last but not least, I'm taking the Morphe X Jefree Star palette and my Morphe M573 brush, going into Lynn and putting a base on my eyes. And I put this all over my entire eye. And just below my eye to give me a nice canvas to work with. Okay, now I look super pale in the eyes and super brown everywhere else. I look crazy. Hopefully we can fix this. Okay, now with this look, she has like super white here, then it goes yellow, and then like a bright orange, and then above that is this nice pretty green. She has really nice black wing and then some white lacy details. So what palette to use? I think I'm gonna start off with the Boss Mood palette from Morphe because that has the pretty orange colors. I will probably need to pull a yellow from another palette. Let's take a look at Hotspot and see if it has a nice yellow. Not really. Okay. We will find a palette with a pretty yellow. That's it. That's it. Definitely not that. Okay, we can try the James Charles palette. I'm not sure if it's gonna work. I haven't used it in a while, just because I haven't, but we will start there. So, I mean, most of the colors are in this palette, but I want to use the Boss Mood palette because I want that bright eyes, sparkly color, even though she doesn't have any glitter on there and it's a matte. I don't care. I like to do things on my own. Sometimes. A little bit. Sort of. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is grab this unnamed brush. It looks a lot like the, let me find it. 65E mini shading brush. These are both Farrah brushes. I have a feeling it's the same brush or very similar. And I'm gonna start out with Ring Light in the corner from the James Charles palette. And I gotta be honest, I'm not quite sure how I feel about James Charles right now. I was actually pretty reluctant to use this palette. I try not to give too much in the way of listening to rumors or what people say, but I just, I mean, I've seen him personally, and I don't know that I really like him much anymore, so, there's my 2 cents. Okay, now I'm gonna go into the white shade. I don't have the color guide, where is it? It's called Flashback. And I'm gonna put that in the corner as well. She doesn't have too much white here. It's just like sort of right on the tip. Okay. Now I'm going to go into the shade B, or actually I might do a little transition. So I'm gonna take this crown brush that I got from Ipsy, and I'm gonna go into Tune. Put it right here. And then from there, we'll go into B. I'm gonna get this brush wet because I want these shades to be really bright. And I don't know how well this is going to work with water. It's sort of like trying to resist it, so we'll try it, see what happens. It seems to be working. And this just goes on the inner half of the lower lid. And now I'm going to fan this because I want it to dry so it doesn't get all over the top part of my lid. The looks that have sort of a shade on the bottom half and a shade on the top half aren't always the best for my eyes, just because my eyes are kind of hooded and they tend to bleed into each other, but we'll give it a go. Francis? No. My cat is naughty. Naughty Francis. Okay. We might come back to B in a little bit once this has dried. Or actually I could take this little unnamed brush that is dry and see if we can kind of help it along a little bit. Okay, and then it transitions into a really pretty orange. So I'm gonna use 518, I guess is the shade. That's interesting. And this brush is still a little damp, so that's good for some hyperpigmentation. Got a little bit up in the crease there, which I didn't want. See if we can kind of smooth that line without... Sorry, that was just my alarm. My cats are being dumb now, chasing each other around the house. I'm gonna take my other pencil brush from Farrah, and that is the 105E pencil brush. And just go in with B to sort of get this brightened up a little bit. This side did pretty well, but I think it's because this dried really well. This one is still sort of like, oh, okay, see, it's because after this dried, I touched it. This one had dried and had not been touched, so it was just some extra pigment sitting on top of there, I feel like. This is part of the reason why I don't really use my James Charles palette anymore, because the shades just, I feel like there's a lot of fallout, not a lot of, I mean, there's payoff, but it's, I have better palettes, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Not trying to be rude. Okay, and she wings this out, so we'll go ahead and do that with this pencil brush. Just sort of like this. It's like blending together, and that's not what I want. I mean, in the center, yeah, but not where I want the yellow. There we go. Okay. I put that on wet. I'm gonna let it dry. I'm gonna leave it alone. Next, she has this really pretty green shade above that. So before we get into that, I'm switching to the Boss Mood palette and going into Bright Eyes. And I'm gonna put Bright Eyes over top of this orange. Because I can. And it's so pretty. And when it dries, hopefully it will be as pretty as I know it can be. Right now it's not really showing up very brightly, but that's okay. Ow. Don't poke yourself in the eye, guys. I'm gonna bring this yellow into that Bright Eyes. so it's not like hard line. You know how I hate having just hard lines. I'm hoping that's just because it's wet and that it's gonna blend really nice, because right now it looks weird. Okay, we leave it alone. Just kidding, we're not. It didn't blend well over here. See what happens when that dries. So let's go back to Boss Mood. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go into the Nomad Berlin Underground palette, and I'm gonna take this shade Helden, which is a really pretty gold, with my Farrah brush, and I'm gonna put this on all of the yellow. Because, you know, I love me some sparkle. You know, I feel like the James Charles palette is good for like a base, but look at how well these two shades, Bright Eyes and Helden, just blended together. Like, that was like couple taps and they just went so nicely. That's why I love the other palettes, and that's what I meant by I have better palettes. So, not trying to be shady or like mean or anything, but just pure honest review, I have better palettes. Okay, let's go into Boss Mood. And it's weird because like the Morphe Boss Mood palette is a Morphe palette, and the James Charles palette is a Morphe palette, so you would think that the formulas are the same, but they're not. So I don't know if like when they collaborate with people, if the influencers have say in like the formula, or they help pick out the formula. Maybe I just have a bad batch. I mean, that's possible. Maybe it has nothing to do with James Charles whatsoever, and Morphe has a bad palette, but that particular palette I'm not fond of. So whose ever fault it is, I don't really care. It's just not one of my favorites. Okay, so I'm gonna go into Stroke of Luck from the Boss Mood palette with this Crown pencil brush, and it's still kind of wet, which is good because I want this to be a really nice clean line. So I'm not mad that it is still a wet brush. I'm gonna kind of pull up my eyelid here because I want to follow this line that I've made with the orange color. I'm gonna kind of go up. Sorry, so I guess my camera again hasn't been recording. I mean, okay, whatever. But I've gone in with, gosh, I don't know where it left off. I used some Farrah brushes. That's the 65E mini shading brush. I got this a little wet. I went into Stroke of Luck and went in here. Then over top of that, sorry if I'm repeating myself, I don't know where it cut off. I went into Hello Sunshine right on the edge here. Then I blended this at the top with this 65E shading brush. After that, I went into the shade Bold Moves, and I used this brush again, but I got it a little bit wet, and I just dabbed the shimmer in there. And then I took this 65E large shading brush with Stroke of Luck and went over all that back and forth just to kind of blend it in nicely. So now what I'm gonna do is my liners. I'm gonna do the black liner and I'm gonna do the white liner, and we'll do lashes and mascara, lip gloss, and we'll be good to go. See you in a minute. Okay, so that is my lashes and gloss all done. And last but not least, I'm gonna spray my face with this Rimmel London Fix and Go setting spray. And there we go. Some Nanette La Pour Beautiful Times perfume. My Anastasia Beverly Hills Shimmer Body Oil. And we're all set. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. And I hope that you have a fantastic Tuesday. And always remember, no matter who you are or where you are loved and you are enough. Bye.